Hello, how are we? First off, I'd like to say the city manager is doing a very bad job. I've tried to get appointments with him, he refuses to talk to me. I call about tree cutting down. His people say, we'll research and get back to you. Trash pile, it was on Channel 12 News. Pick it up within 3 days. 3 weeks later, 10 phone calls later, finally got picked up. You know, the beach project, called his office, I don't know, passes the buck to somebody else. You know, these halfway houses are moving in all over town. There's 10 that I know of in the downtown area. Code says we can't do nothing. I call the city attorney's office. We can't get an injunction to shut these people down. We need to do something because they're money makers. They're operating not even in code. Code is only cited 1 out of 10. So I've seen city employees walking around talking on their cell phones, cutting down trees, headphones on. Call the city manager's office, nothing happens. As usual, you know. And it's just like a waste of everybody's time to come here and complain to you guys because nothing ever seems to get done. Thanks.
Lynn Anderson, followed by Loretta Shore.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. Where are all the people tonight? Even Mr. Tim is missing. That's strange. I just had a couple of things I wanted to bring up. The L Street parking lot. When we first contracted with that lot, it came in February. So I'm just wondering if there's a contract renewal coming up this month because it never went, last year before the commission that I can recall. And I know that it's empty during the day, but at night and on the weekends, we do have people parking there. So hopefully we're making some revenue and we're beating our expenses there. But I've never seen any kind of report on that, so I'd be interested in hearing about that. Over the weekend, we had two-way streets up at the beach. It was bad enough with one-way, but now we had cars coming out, at the same time going different. I mean, it was like insane. I don't know who thought that one up. And I hope it doesn't last. It was just bizarre, I thought. Mr. Torcivia, we hired you back last year sometime. You were going to get a 6 months kind of like evaluation, your firm, whether it was working out. And as far as expenses and the value of your services, and I'm just wondering if that's going to be coming up anytime soon, because it's past the 6-month mark. I happen to like you, and so I'd be interested in that evaluation and see how that's going to work out for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Loretta Shore.
Loretta Shore, 1311 South Conway. Well, I think the city manager is doing a fine job. I have a couple of things that I wasn't going to bring up, but I am going to bring up. Number one, there are a lot of we've had houses going on South Federal Highway. I know that. I hesitate to ask the commission to do something about them because they look so good. They're painted, their landscaping is done, and I don't see anybody hanging around. So I really hesitate asking the city commission to do an ordinance, do something, get rid of them, because they look better than what was there before. Number two, the CRA. I have always supported the CRA, but I don't know when they got the zoning change on 6th Avenue and Dixie Highway, and how they got to build those awful looking apartments that they're going to build there. I think that the last thing the city of Lake Worth needs is to put that conglomeration of trash at the end of 6th Avenue. After you just spent, what, $10 million doing 6th Avenue, now you're going to put low-income housing, and it will be low-income housing. It will not be affordable housing, and it will be rented. And I told Ms. Robinson, who runs public housing for the city of Lake Worth, just get your little waivers out, your little vouchers out, and just send them down there when it's built. But how did they ever get the zoning changed on that corner? I'd like to know, because it was commercial. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Perilla.
Mark Perilla, 401 North B Street. I'm here to invite anyone and everyone who would like to be informed accurately before making any conclusions. And this is coming from somebody who has met with the developer now 3 times. We have a public outreach meeting scheduled for February 13th at 6:30 p.m. at 1121 Lucerne Avenue, the Shuffleboard Courts. Alan Schneer from Realtex will be there to do a presentation on the incredible project, the incredible development coming in to 6th Avenue and F Street to eliminate a lot that has blighted the Genesis neighborhood for too long. Listening to the intentions and the plans of how responsibly this is going to be managed, and this is not your typical affordable housing structure. I wish people would investigate further before making accusations. I resent the fact that it brings more trash. My mother and grandmother live in that neighborhood. I know pastors, I know families who are struggling in that neighborhood. It is not just trash, people who need affordable, decent, clean housing. Rental or not. They're not any less than because they cannot afford to buy a home in our city. I strive for Genesis to be all-inclusive. I don't know about any other pocket in this city, but I resent very much when something that doesn't even exist yet is being called to house trash. Those are human beings. Please come join us if you want to get informed accurately and bring any questions. They will be answered. Joan Oliva from the CRA will be there. We have done a mailer to both the Royal Point, Sienna, and Genesis neighborhood area. So from Lucerne to 12th Avenue South, from 95 to Dixie, there will be mailers hitting their mailboxes soon. Thank you to all the public. Please come out and be informed accurately. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Lindsay?
6:30 at February 13th at the Shuffleboard Courts. Thank you.
Mary Lindsay, 327 Columbia Drive. Good evening, Commissioners. I hope I get a chance to say this because it is sort of on the agenda. It's on the consent agenda. Item number 8, staff report on the Citizens Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program. The Juice Board had a discussion about this last night and had requested a lot of information from staff. They were still waiting for some of it, and they had some very specific recommendations to make to the commission, and as well as some very specific questions that they hoped the commission would be able to ask and get answers to. So it's just too bad. They desperately wanted to bring this before the commission with their recommendations. So there's that. Then under public hearing, or not public hearings, but new business A, that is strictly a discussion item unless the commission makes an exception and allows for public comment on that. There won't be any unless the commission makes a motion and a second. There's no opportunity for the public to speak about item 12A, which I think is probably the most important earth-moving decision that this commission or any commission for the last 50 years could make. So I hope, Mayor, you'll consider allowing public comment for that item, whether the commission makes a motion or takes action or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Final card is from Dustin Zacks, who asked me to read. Dear Madam Mayor, Honorable Commissioners, and other urbanites, I'm sorry I couldn't attend the meeting due to a hockey game. I write to strenuously and fervently urge the Mayor and Commission to do something about the parking problem at the beach. On a recent visit, a very special visitor from Detroit was forced to sit in the car with me as we infuriatingly trailed elderly snowbird after snowbird who looked for ever closer parking spots at approximately 2 miles per hour. While at first this may seem like piling on, given all the other citizens who have voiced their opinion on this, I simply write to urge the city commissioners to adopt the only sensible solution. That is, we must seriously consider banning citizens older than, say, 55 from driving at our beach. As surely there are 55 plus communities in South Florida, surely we can act a 55 plus prohibited driving zone. Thank you, Dustin.
I'm glad Mr. Tim's not here.
Commissioner.
If we were to act on Mr. Zacks' recommendation, how would I be able to go and